What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Steven, and here is the first regular season college basketball bracketology update. I'm using ESPN's from December 1st, this past Tuesday. Today's Thursday, December 3rd, and yeah, what a start to college basketball. I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's been crazy. It ain't college basketball without upsets. Oh my goodness. Let's get through this real quick. I'm going to try and go through this as quickly as possible. Got some notes to note for you guys. All right, top left, Gonzaga. Noted for the best number one seed in this bracketology. Fair enough. They've been really, really good. Tough, gritty team. Could score. Baylor, the other number one seed. Villanova, now the worst number one seed. They fell to Virginia Tech on Saturday, I think. And then Duke. Why is Duke a number one seed? Are you kidding me right now? I don't agree with that, but whatever. I mean, they barely could beat Coppin State, and they just lost to Michigan State on Tuesday night. Michigan State looked pretty good, actually. I will say that. Them being a 3 seed, though, it's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna, be a pip. I'm not gonna be nitpicky about it, but yeah, you got some interesting placements here. Like Houston going to a number 2 seed in region number 2, the top right region. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Houston this high in bracketology. Props to them. Virginia Tech's new on this list. Clemson's new on this list. Clemson's been doing pretty good. They've been strong. ACC looking to be a very competitive conference as usual. Akron from the MAC is now new on here in the top left region. Let's go ahead and get to the bracket, shall we? Get these picks out of the way. Gonzaga versus Fairleigh Dickinson, Texas Southern. We know what it is. Gonzaga all the way. Gonzaga's been strong. They're fast. I like their transitioning. Drew Timme can really score. They kind of scared me last night. They started off slow against West Virginia, but West Virginia has proven that they can make a deep run if they keep playing the way they do. Some people did say the refs kind of screw them over. I do agree with that to an extent, but yeah, I mean, West Virginia is still West Virginia. They're going to be playing tough for this season, so can't give up hopes on them yet. Richmond versus LSU. I'm impressed with Richmond right now. That upset over Kentucky. Jacob Gilliard, he's my height, 5'8", and that dude can steal the ball from you. Gotta watch out for him. I like how fast they are. They shot the 3 very well. LSU's not impressing me. They just got upset by St. Louis. We'll get to St. Louis later in this bracketology. Ohio State. Ohio State's looking pretty good right now. I can't say anything bad about them. I know I kind of dissed them a little bit in my last video, but I mean, it's just, I have some questions, and they're kind of answering them already for me, so we'll see how it goes. Loyola Chicago, though, not the team they were 2 years ago. Texas versus Vermont. How about Texas this year? Texas won the Maui Invitational on a tight game-winning shot by Coleman. Wow, Texas is looking really good this year. Their defense stifled IU. Texas looks legitimate. Gotta give them props. They'll beat Florida, I think. Florida versus Maryland, Syracuse. I'm going to go with Syracuse to beat Maryland and upset Florida. I'm not a believer in Maryland this year. They just lost Anthony Cowan. Trying to pronounce his name right. I've heard it before. Jalen Smith. Florida, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not too up on them this year. I mean, Andrew Nembhard went to Gonzaga anyway. He's been doing very, very well. If you watched the game last night, he was the star on the court. Jalen Suggs got injured, but came back and was looking decent there. West Virginia versus Murray State. Yeah, West Virginia plays a nice... They're not like press Virginia, but they play good containment. And unfortunately, they were in foul trouble last night. Sheway and somebody else got fouled out, I think. I forgot the guy's last name. But again, like I said, you could probably partially blame on poor officiating last night. I do understand that. There are some people who, like I said, are not happy with that. UCLA, Memphis, what in the world is happening to UCLA? They lose to San Diego State in horrible fashion. Then it takes 3 overtimes to beat Pepperdine. Are you kidding me? Memphis, not much better either, but their defense is something that's worthwhile, I guess. I'll take Memphis. Iowa, Luka Garza has been, oh my goodness, he's been unstoppable practically. That's all I got to say about that. Gonzaga, Richmond, I think Gonzaga's size gets to Richmond here. They both play fast, but I think Gonzaga knows how to get it done on the court. Ohio State and Texas. I think Texas. I think their defense and good playmaking gets it done. You got playmakers like Coleman, Greg Brown. This team is legit. Syracuse versus West Virginia. This would be mainly a defensive battle. I think West Virginia scores better. Syracuse has problems scoring at times, so I'm going to go with West Virginia. Memphis and Iowa. I kind of had a brain fart there. Iowa. Gonzaga, Texas. Pretty tricky game here because Texas can really manipulate the transitioning of Gonzaga's offense, and they can really slow them down. They slowed IU down. Trace Jackson-Davis and them couldn't really get it done, but then they kind of fired back at Stanford in the third-place game and whatnot. After what I thought Stanford did get screwed over by UNC, I will say that. Gonzaga, though, I will take Gonzaga. I've been very impressed in Gonzaga this year. I'm not like riding a bandwagon or anything. I've been a Gonzaga fan for a few years now, so I hope he is able to prove people wrong and finally win a national championship. They deserve it. Trust me. Iowa, West Virginia. I talked about before how the fascination of the matchup of Luka Garza versus West Virginia's defense. Wow, I want to see it. I really, really want to see this matchup. I took West Virginia, or no, I took Iowa, and I'm going to take Iowa again. I just think Luka Garza is just too strong. You're going to have big physical guys from West Virginia like Oscar Tshiebwe, who's going to get right in his face, but I think Luka Garza is just too much. Gonzaga, Iowa. I took Iowa last time. I'm going to take Gonzaga this time to the Final Four. I had Gonzaga going out early. I had a little bit of a bad judgment there. I will admit, sometimes I don't make great judgments on these picks sometimes, but it is what it is. It's very early in the season still. We still got a lot of basketball to play through. Pardon me, but there's been a lot that's happened so far. Villanova, Eastern Washington. Villanova got upset by Virginia Tech. That's a little worrisome, but I think Villanova, it's during the season. You know, you had really no scrimmage games, limited practice. Teams are still trying to figure it out. Let's just let them iron it out. I'm sure a lot of the teams would just fine, you know, the ones that are supposed to do well. Stanford, Clemson. I like Stanford's offense. You know, they have a unique offense, like with Oscar Da Silva and them. You know, I think they're tough. I mean, yeah, they didn't really do very well against IU, but I think they're tough enough to beat Clemson. I don't know very much about Clemson. I know they've been doing good enough to get on this bracketology. They may have had a bigger win in there. I'm not sure. But that's a coin flip right there. Texas Tech, UNC Greensboro. I was not impressed with Texas Tech. I don't know what happened to them. Houston just completely shut them down. Houston absolutely shut them down. That team looks serious this year. Texas Tech tried to mount a comeback a little bit, but they could not pull through with it. Tennessee, South Dakota State. Tennessee yet to play their first game of the season. Can't say much about them right now. Louisville, Marquette. I don't think Louisville's even played either this year yet. But Marquette, I have no trust in them at all. Michigan State and Winthrop. Michigan State, of course, being Duke. They basically had control through the entire game. I think they had to lead most of the game as well. Rocket Watts getting it done with the scoring. I believe that was their best score of the night. Michigan, Seton Hall. Seton Hall just got beat by Rhode Island, and why is Rhode Island not even on this bracketology? I think Rhode Island's being overlooked just a little bit, but Michigan, of course, they got Franz Wagner, they got Isaiah Livers. This team definitely can get it done. Kansas, Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin, I think they've played a game. No, they have not. They may have played their first game yesterday. I don't know. But Kansas, like I said, Kansas barely beat Kentucky. Kind of alarming to me, but then again, not really. I expected it to be close anyway. But Kansas got it done on defense, so really don't have much worries there with Kansas right now. Villanova, Stanford. I think if Villanova wasn't such a well-rounded team, I think this would be possible upset alert. But given the fact that Villanova can get it done overall as an overall collective unit, with of course Colin Gillespie, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, I think they got it in this one. Texas Tech and Tennessee. I can't trust Texas Tech right now. And got an interruption. We'll continue this part. Okay, I had a slight interruption there. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee there. Just because of the fact Texas Tech didn't show me a whole lot, but of course things will change throughout the season. Louisville, Michigan State. Could be a tricky game here, but I think Michigan State, they're starting to prove to me more. They're starting to prove to me more that they are actually a serious team. They got their bases covered, it looks like. Michigan and Kansas, tough game here. You know, it's a matter of that defense versus the offense of Michigan. Is Kansas really going to be able to step up to the plate? I don't know. Uh, I want to take Michigan in the upset. I really do. I'm going to go with Kansas though. I really. It's almost like a toss up there to me personally. Villanova, Tennessee. Tough matchup here because first off, I haven't even seen Tennessee play this year. They have not played a game this year. Villanova. I don't know what happened there against Virginia Tech. I think it just they were probably being like, oh well, we're expecting an easy game, and then all of a sudden, oh shoot, we're down and whatnot. But I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one for me at least. Well, why not? Just screw it. We'll go with Tennessee. No, we're gonna go Villanova. I don't know. This is a who cares? It is what it is. Michigan State and Kansas. I think Kansas here is in trouble because of the fact with Michigan State, the scoring. Kansas has struggled at times, and of course, like I said about Marcus Garrett, Marcus Garrett has struggled a little bit. But Villanova, Michigan State, the Elite Eight. I'm gonna screw it. I don't know who I want to take to the Final Four. I don't want to take another one seed to the Final Four like that. I don't want to be like chalk like that. But oh well, it is what it is. I mean, it won't be like that in future bracketology videos. Whatever. We're gonna move on. Baylor versus Colgate Norfolk State. We're gonna go Baylor. Baylor. Wow. Last night. Their defense was just in Illinois' face from the get-go. They made Illinois uncomfortable. They shut down Ayu Disumu. They eliminated the threat of Kochmer. It was, gosh, Baylor drawing fouls. Baylor was just a machine last night. This looked like a national championship team. IU, Virginia Tech. I want to take IU personally because I've liked watching what I've been seeing with Trace Jackson Davis alone, but you can't really deter everything with just one person. Sometimes that will not lead to the best results anyway, or a lot of the time or whatnot. Just depends. I'll take Virginia Tech. They're hot right now. Florida State, Arkansas, BYU. Two notes here. I think BYU could beat Arkansas, and two, Florida State. Wow. I was on Twitter last night and saw something about. I was like, what are they talking about Florida State's defense? They have to be talking about basketball. And sure enough, Florida State was just rampant on defense last night. Florida State could be one of those teams where they make it hard for this bracket. Florida State looks there's something else right now. Creighton, New Mexico State. I talked about New Mexico State. Last few years has been a popular upset pick, rightfully so out of the WAC. But Creighton has a great offense. I don't know, though, man. Creighton, it just seems like to me, it's one of those, I don't know, moments. I don't know, man. I feel like there's going to be quite a few upsets in this tournament this year. I think it's bound to happen. Screw it. We're going to New Mexico State. UNC, Oklahoma. North Carolina looks really good this year. They look like they've really... they were in a very tough one with Texas. They hung in there until the end. This team looks legit this year. I'm going to go UNC, Oklahoma. Like I said, hard to figure out at times. Illinois, Wright State. Illinois, besides the shutdown last night of their offense, Illinois is still a dangerous team, but they just got absolutely hammered in the second half. It's like Baylor basically they came in there and they just said, look, we don't care who you are. We're just going to shut you down. Rutgers, UConn. Rutgers, Geo Baker's injured. That's a huge blow for Rutgers because they need him. He's one of their best players. Big Ten's tough this year. Again, as usual, Rutgers, it's going to be tough for them if they don't get him back sooner or later. So I'm going to go UConn. UConn tough right now with the Big East coming up. Of course, Big East Conference games eventually down the road. UConn looking tough right now. I'll give it to them. Houston, UC Irvine. I'm very impressed with Houston. I like Houston. I've been a fan of Houston for a couple years. This team looks really good this year. Quentin Grimes, Caleb Mills. This team's got it, I think. I think this is an underrated team. They've been underrated for a couple of years at this point. Baylor, Virginia Tech. I think Baylor, the way they've been playing that defense. But the thing is that if you figure them out, though, it's kind of one of the, I don't know. It's tricky, but Baylor, their combination of man and zone was just absolutely crazy. Florida State, New Mexico State. Florida State, I will take them absolutely, which would set up a very technical Sweet 16 game. Probably the best word I can use for that. Illinois, UNC. I still have trust in Illinois. I think they'll rebound. Sometimes you're just going to have a bad game like that. It happens. But Illinois, I think, is tough. This is a tough team. Don't count them out just because of one loss. Houston, UConn. I think UConn will give them a fight, but I think Houston really shoves them out of the way. Baylor, Florida State in the Sweet 16. Ooh, this could be a physical game. If we get this in a tournament, this will be a very physical defensive game. Who could score the most? I trust Baylor more in that department right now. Florida State, when they faced North Florida last night, North Florida is now 0-4. Florida State didn't shoot the three very well. Their field goal percentage was there. It was what they did was they forced a lot of turnovers. But I trust Baylor more in the department of scoring, so that's going to be key. Illinois and Houston. After watching that beatdown of Illinois, though, I'm starting to lean towards Houston in this pick. Houston just has, I don't know, man. When Illinois got in that defensive game with Baylor, it seemed like they completely shut down. Illinois has of course, like I said, they got that physical defense too, but it's like Baylor outmanned them. Baylor's a decently sized team. This is a tough pick. This really is a tough pick. I'm just going to go Houston because Houston's got the talent. Baylor and Houston, I don't want to take 3-1 seeds to the Final Four. That's kind of dumb, I think, because it never usually really happens like that. But this would be also a very physical game. Baylor and Houston, these two teams love to really get at it. I really think this will be a very entertaining game to watch. I got to go Baylor. They play like a national contender team, basically. Now, I think this is the region that's going to blow up. You'll know what I mean. Duke over Hofstra. We're going to get through this pretty fast. St. Louis, like them. Alabama, not so much. Oregon, Western Kentucky. Oregon lost to Missouri yesterday. Missouri's 3-0, surprisingly. I guess Missouri is pulling a Virginia Tech on us. They're a team that wants to be known. I'm going to go Western Kentucky. Charles Bassey and that team has got figured out right now. They might be a sleeper pick in the tournament. Kentucky, Georgia State, Kentucky, although not impressed with them. Arizona State and Purdue. Arizona State fell to 6. Like them a whole lot better than Purdue. Remy Martin will get it done. Virginia and Liberty. Yeah, I just picked Liberty. Yeah, because here's the thing, Virginia. Yeah, I'm going with Liberty. Because Virginia, you lose to San Francisco. I know they came back. I know they rebounded in their last game, but seriously. Virginia has a history of stints where they can't score. Liberty, I know they lost to TCU. Granted, it's early in the season. Liberty can score. I saw it. That team can shuffle around. I know Virginia's got Sam Hauser and Katie Clark to kind of move around, get that transition going, open those shots, open those threes especially. But Virginia was 25% for the three-point line against San Francisco. San Francisco beat them in that game. Oh, boy. Yeah. San Diego State against Providence. San Diego State, their defense showed up. Providence didn't show up for me at all against IU. Didn't like it. Wisconsin, Siena. We're going to go Wisconsin if I can even pick it. There we go. Duke, St. Louis. Why not? I'm not a huge Duke. I think is a little overrated this year. I really do. St. Louis is a sleeper team potentially. Western Kentucky versus Kentucky. After watching Kentucky against Richmond, didn't like it very much. Western Kentucky almost beat West Virginia. So you know what? I favor Western Kentucky more. Arizona State, Liberty. I think Arizona State will beat Liberty. I think Liberty runs out of gas there. Wisconsin, San Diego State. I'm going to take Wisconsin, although that's a tough matchup there. St. Louis versus Western Kentucky. Who's going to the Elite Eight? I'm going to pick St. Louis. Screw it. We're already at that point anyway, so. Arizona State and Wisconsin. That's a tough one. Wisconsin usually, when they're a high seed, they do very well. I trust them in that regard. Wisconsin, St. Louis to the Final Four. We're going to go Wisconsin. This is such an ugly Final Four lineup. I hate it. I don't even like it at all. But it is what it is. Gonzaga versus Villanova. Gonzaga loves to move the ball real fast. I know Villanova has a well-rounded team overall, but man, I got more trust in Gonzaga right now. Baylor versus Wisconsin. Baylor, like I said, that defense was incredible. It would set up a rematch of what's to come this Saturday here in Indianapolis, Gonzaga versus Baylor. And I'm going to take Baylor for the national champions. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys disagree, please let me know below. I mean, it is what it is. I'll see you guys in the next Bracketology update. Stay tuned. This was fun to do. Can't wait to do it again. See you guys later.